This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 1258, How to Lose Weight Without Dieting or Exercise, by Guy and Ilan Ferdman of MindBender.co, and I'm your host and narrator, Dr. Neil. Hey there, happy middle of the week Wednesday, and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I read some of the best health and fitness blogs to you, and always with a little bit of my commentary at the end. Now it's the middle of the week, and we might need that little bit of inspiration to make it through these last couple of days. So, like I do every Wednesday, I'd like to share an inspirational quote with you. So, here we go. Quote, "Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one." Bruce Lee. Now, before I get to it, I want to mention that today's post is a perfect complement to what we've been discussing all week. Earlier, we talked about which workouts actually work to help us achieve the body we've always wanted. We also talked about how one or two simple lifestyle changes performed consistently can reduce our risk of chronic disease. It's not all about following the latest fad. So we're going to expand on this idea today. Oh, and before we get to it, don't forget, I answer your questions every Friday, and I'm taking questions by email now. You can send in your question to health@oldpodcast.com. Again, that's health@oldpodcast.com. All right, with that, let's finally get to today's post as we optimize your life. How to Lose Weight Without Dieting or Exercise, by Guy and Ilan Ferdman of MindBender.co. When you first search the internet about weight loss, top hits will include how-tos on diet and exercise. Society tells us we can't lose weight without doing one or the other. Believe it or not, there are other things in our lives that influence our well-being, other than the food that we eat and the physical activities we engage in. We are mind and body after all. Here are a few tips on how to lose weight without dieting or exercise. 1. Reduce stress. Meditate. When we are under stress, our cortisol, adrenaline, and other stress hormones are elevated. When these are abnormally high, it can increase unhealthy food cravings. It can also make falling and staying asleep difficult, which messes up the body's leptin and ghrelin. These are hunger hormones that dictate appetite and feelings of satiety. Stress also makes it difficult to maintain an active lifestyle, as its symptoms include lack of energy and moodiness. There is no single quick way to get rid of stress, but there are many simple meditative tools that can help reduce it. Meditation is an effective way to declutter the mind and rewire the brain. Taking a few minutes to step away and detach from a busy environment by simply sitting in silence and taking a few deep breaths is a form of meditation. It allows you to reset your breathing and calm your nervous system. If you have the luxury of more than a few minutes, take the time to indulge. Another tip is to notice more peaceful or beautiful things or moments around you. It teaches your brain to recognize similar experiences more often and makes other future feelings of peace and happiness last longer. 2. Let go of the things that limit you, like vices and trauma. We must first be aware that changing one's inner world can change his or her outer reality. When we work on our intentions and not judge ourselves for the habits we have created, we can eventually change our quality of life. For example, drinking alcohol or smoking a cigarette out of a need to function or to cope with something stressful may be good places to start. Whatever not-so-healthy habit we use to cope with life events is probably good to re-examine. What is the underlying reason for needing a cigarette or a drink? Does it make you feel more confident? Does it help you feel more secure? Is it allowing you to numb a feeling or memory you don't want to deal with? The same goes for staying exactly the way we are, in fear of any kind of change. These behaviors get formed as a result of some kind of trauma that happened, whether we can recollect that moment or not. The result is feeling stuck right where we are. If you are able to detach yourself from the things that limit you, you can free yourself of these habits that may be harming your health, well-being, and overall quality of life. 3. Feel more connected to people. Positive social interaction reduces stress. To reiterate, when we are not stressed, we are less likely to experience unhealthy cravings. As a result, our metabolism will work as it should. The mind doesn't crave the rewards that come from certain habits or vices. In turn, these may make weight loss possible without consciously putting yourself through any form of diet or workout plan. Simply put, lowered stress levels can help one lose weight. No exercise, no diet. Try these simple positive lifestyle changes, and you may actually see pounds melt away off your body as a result of living a better, healthier, and more fulfilled life. You just listened to the post titled, How to Lose Weight Without Dieting or Exercise by Guy and Ilan Ferdman of MindBender.co. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. So yes, stress and weight management go hand in hand. In fact, when I used to conduct weight management classes, a topic we would spend quite a bit of time discussing was stress management. My patients would always appreciate it because everyone experiences stress. But they would always ask, what does stress management have to do with my weight loss? Well, today's authors explain this quite nicely. What we've learned is that stress negatively affects nearly every cell in the body, from brain cells to stomach and intestinal cells to our muscle cells to our fat cells. Stress seems to negatively affect each and every one of those. When it comes to weight management, then, we find that when we're stressed, our appetites increase, and our body doesn't want to give up its fat stores as easily. We tend to have more cravings, and sadly, we tend not to crave fruits and vegetables when we're stressed. Instead, what types of foods do we turn to? Well, we turn to foods that provide us with emotional comfort. Comfort foods, high fat, high carb, high salt foods. It's like somehow when we're stressed, a big green salad doesn't seem to make us feel as good as a big bowl of ice cream. Now, I do realize that simply hearing about all of the dangers of mismanaged stress is likely causing you to feel even more stressed out. But that's okay, it's very natural. So, what would I tell my patients to do about this stress? Well, I would first tell them that there is no magic cure, no magic behavior to get rid of our stress. You can't ever get rid of stress. It's always going to be there. So instead, we need to limit it. We need to reduce it as often as possible. How do we do that? Well, sadly, we need to do a bit of homework. We need to find out what stresses us out the most and find ways to cope with those stressors. When we feel stressed, deep breathing and meditation help because they distract us from our stressors and they decrease the body's stress response. So, I would have my patients keep a stress journal, just like a food journal. They would have to make a note whenever they felt stress and what they did to cope with that stress. Did they practice deep breathing? Did they meditate? Did they go for a walk? Did they find something that made them laugh? Simple behaviors like these can separate us from those stressful feelings, reducing our body's stress response. Even if we just take 5 minutes to deal with stressful feelings whenever they pop up, we may be able to make significant reductions to our body's stress response, and as a result, may make the body more willing to give up any excess weight and reduce some of those comfort food cravings. All right, that'll do it for today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you back here for tomorrow's show where your optimal life awaits.